When I bought a fixer-upper cabin at the edge of Pinebridge Estates, I knew I was just outside the HOA boundaries, literally one property away. That suited me just fine. I wanted space, peace, and the freedom to restore the place on my own terms. What I didn't expect was Karen Mallory, the HOA president of Pinebridge, treating my non-HOA property like it was her domain. From day one, she suggested I repaint my siding to match the rest of the community, demanded I remove my unsightly wind chimes, and even left a typed note about approved garbage bin positioning. Again, I was not in the HOA. But things got real when I noticed my utility bill suddenly spiked. I'd installed a solar array and a backup generator, enough to keep my cabin powered off-grid for most of the week. So when the bill from Pinebridge Electric showed a 300% increase, I knew something was wrong. I checked the lines, dug around the pole, and that's when I found it. An extra line leading off the utility box and into the shrubs bordering Karen's pristine backyard. I followed it carefully until it connected to an outdoor EV charger tucked discreetly behind a privacy screen. It was unmistakable. She was stealing power to charge her cherry-red Tesla Model X, straight from my box. It wasn't a misunderstanding. This was deliberate. I confronted her the next morning. She stood on her porch in a monogrammed bathrobe, sipping iced coffee like she didn't have a care in the world. "Karen," I said, "you've been siphoning power from my line. That's theft." She didn't even flinch. "Well, you had all that solar power and nobody was using it during the day. I assumed you wouldn't mind." I was stunned. "You assumed you could tap into my grid?" "Don't be dramatic," she said. "We're neighbors." That was it. No apology. No offer to pay me back. Just entitlement wrapped in a Botox smile. So I got creative. I'm an electrical engineer by trade. 12 years in the field before I retired early to live the quiet life. I knew her charger model, knew its specs, and knew exactly how much juice it could take before it fried. So I installed a load surge interrupter on my line, a custom setup that would briefly spike the voltage just once if it detected a foreign draw pattern. Legal? Technically yes, since it was on my property and my equipment. Risky? Only for thieves. Sure enough, the next evening, just after 7 p.m., I heard the familiar hum of her charger firing up. I waited until the current stabilized, then flipped the surge. 3 seconds later, there was a loud pop, followed by a shrill metallic wee-oh sound from Karen's side of the fence. Then, silence. I peeked over and saw her standing in her driveway, staring in horror as smoke curled from the charging port of her precious Tesla. The next morning, she stormed over, demanding to know what had happened. "You blew up my battery." I shrugged. "Looks like faulty wiring. Could have started a fire. Lucky it didn't spread." She threatened to call the police. I welcomed it. When Officer Rowe showed up, I handed him documentation of the theft, photos of the unauthorized connection, timestamps, and video of Karen's backyard charger drawing current from my system. The best part? I'd already filed a formal complaint with Pinebridge Electric and the utility board. They were launching an investigation into meter tampering, a felony in this county. Karen's face turned from smug to panic in real time. The officer issued her a warning. The utility company later hit her with a $5,000 fine and disconnected her home until she paid restitution. Her Tesla? The battery was toast, over $18,000 to replace. Not covered under warranty because the damage was due to unregulated current exposure. She tried to bill me for the repairs. I sent back a one-line letter. "Should have asked before you plugged in." Now, the shrubs are gone, the power theft is history, and Karen? She drives a used Prius and avoids me like the plague. Sometimes karma comes on 4 wheels, and sometimes it fries your battery first.